A bit of a weird day, to be honest. She's asked if we can go and help dig a grave. I've just had my meeting with the accountant and my bookkeeper that I can get a mortgage. Different kind of concept here today. We've actually got Enriko behind the camera. Good morning. It is Monday. It's a new week and it's just me and Kyle.
Two of us.
Just the two of us. The A-team.
That's it.
So we're just getting this next gate post in.
Yeah, we've got more than enough space.
And then going to crack on getting these rails in. So yeah, I will speak to the camera in a bit, but right now we're just going to get going. Cool, that's the rails on, the posts are cut, the datum points, would you call it, for the boards are on. A board on one side, a board here, just to ping a line. Yeah, Kyle's going to crack on with the boards. I need to go to MKM and collect some more boards, so that's what I'm going to go and do now. The gate posts in, so that'll set off today and hopefully tomorrow we'll start getting the gates on. And then we'll probably be out of here. Some general tidying up to do. But yeah, getting there. Slowly approaching the end of one project. And then about to start another. Lunchtime is it? What's for the lunch today?
Egg mayo.
Egg mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. So we've just taken the digger up to this job again. It was getting serviced on the weekend there by Jamie. Thank you to Jamie. It certainly feels a lot smoother. He's greased up everything. There was a few nipples on there that he said that we had missed. Not a lot, but just obviously ones in obscure places, but generally all around we try and keep it good as possible. Difference is we're not using it every day, so it's not like it's getting worked day in, day out. It certainly feels a lot better. He has tightened up the belt, which was causing it to screech, the engine to screech. It certainly is running a lot better, so thank you, Jamie. This job has grown arms and legs in a good way. So Callum, the main contractor who was doing this, who got us in to do the soil. This is what kind of Mike's prepped. Callum's put his sleepers in. We have now convinced the owner to go for turf. Initially he was going to seed it, but I said, obviously being the time of year, it is 4th of November, the seed probably wouldn't be as effective as you'd want it to be. So we've managed to not persuade, but like almost educate and say, well, this is what's probably the best option. The ground is still warm enough for the turf to probably take well, and even so, the turf will lay dormant. The seed would lay dormant, but if you get frost and everything, it's just going to knock at it. So they're close to moving in here, so I think it would just finish it off nicely. It's going to stop them traipsing mud in through the winter. Dogs as well, if they go on the soil and then into the house, it's just not very good. So, but we are also going to be gravelling the driveway, so I was just taking it down a notch. There was a bit of a camber here, and then it was a bit of a dip in there, so I'm just taking the material from this side and pushing it over into there. Well, trying my very best. Kind of swoops down into here. These slabs are going to be coming out. We have convinced them to take these out, and we're going to come in, dig all this back out, and just have it as gravel. Nice and clean. The slabs are looking pretty tired, you know. Some of them are cracked, they're just not really nice. We may lay a couple slabs in front here, just so they can step down onto a hard stand. But the rest of it will just have gravel, tie in from the driveway all the way around here. And then you'll have your nice lawn. So yeah, and I liked all this stuff, you know. This was probably nice at one point, but it's just a mess now. So we'll just dig all this out, lift all the slabs, get them away. This stump can come away as well. Anyway, camera doesn't show it, which is good, but it is getting dark now. But these DJIs have very good low light filming capabilities, should I say. We'll be back here tomorrow to a certain degree. Still got some boards to put on the fence at that job that Kyle's on. And purely because we didn't have enough boards, Kyle's went to go and get the boards. Tomorrow Mike should be back, Ed should be back, Tommy should be in as well, so we would just be missing Damien and Alex, so going to be kind of juggling between a couple jobs. But we'll go back up and see Kyle. Right, it's 9:30 on a Monday night. I'm just about to leave the yard. A bit of a weird day, to be honest. It's been a while since there's only been 2 of us in. We should be back up to 5 of us tomorrow. Yeah, 5 of us. Yeah, hopefully things will progress a little bit quicker tomorrow. There's a lot going on at the moment with the business, with my life, everything really. And it is sometimes difficult to prioritise bringing out the camera and, you know, documenting. It's all quite overwhelming, exciting, scary. What the hell am I doing? But it's just one of these things. Business isn't easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's very difficult to find the sort of balance that you're looking for. But if it was easy, everyone would do it. So anyway, I'm rambling on. Hopefully tomorrow there'll be a bit more action and I'll have a bit of a more clearer mindset of things. There's just been a lot of sort of decisions and thinking and knowing which direction to take things, etc. And yeah, just general day-to-day business struggles. So that's it for Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday morning. We are in the yard. Just getting the trailer hooked up. It's still full of hedge trimming waste. It's basically been quite handy as a dump. Although we've not had the trailer with us on jobs, we come back to the yard with, say, ton bags full of hedge clippings. Just load the trailer, and then when it's full, we can go up and dump it all. Just about to head back out to this fence. Hopefully get it wrapped up this morning, get the gates on, etc, etc. And then there's some stuff to come away. There's some waste to come away. So that's why I've got the trailer on. Then we will dump that, take the high sides off, and then we're going to be running material for the job that Mike and Tommy are at. What I started with the digger last night. So yeah, all kind of go today. Kyle and Ed are back out at that job, and that's where we're going now. So yeah, what a difference it makes when this is clean. It's awesome. I can honestly say, and I'm not jinxing it, this vehicle has been such an asset. Makes me smile every time I jump in it. It's probably going to break down now and blow up, but you know, cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, heading out to the job now. I will see you out there. Approaching the end of this one. Do you like fencing, Kyle?
I like it when it's finished.
I'm starting to realise Kyle doesn't like this job anymore.
No, I'm not a fan of fencing.
Cool, we're back on site with new hinges. Just getting those gates on. Kyle's just patched this sort of corner in here just to blank it off for the dog, which will look fine once it's all cut and down to size. We'll see if we can get these gates on. Here we are, folks, coming to you live from the crafter. I really do like this van. I know I'm just going on about the vehicles today. I really like the Ranger. It's been a very, very good vehicle. But this is a nice van. In comparison to the Beaver Tail, it is just a nice, it's a step up, you know, it's a step above. But the Beaver Tail has a purpose. It's just it's a van, it's a work vehicle. It's just very loud, so you can't often hear yourself think when you're in it. And this certainly does look the part now with the high sides on it. And it'll be interesting to see how the chipper works with it. The guys actually did some chipping last week, but I wasn't there to see it. So, but hopefully that flap makes a difference and it keeps the van clean, because when you're blasting wood chip into it, you're of course going to get some residue and dust from it. Hopefully it will minimise that, because the Transit, I remember, used to just get clarted and stuff. Horrendous. But anyway, I'm on my way back to the yard to grab an adjustable spanner because we didn't take it in the bag, another plank of wood because we were one short, typical. What else? Oh yes, the drop bolt for the gate. They give you this little stupid cylindrical, you know, this tube, and it's about that size, and you're supposed to somehow concrete that into the ground. So going to the local smithy to get a bit of box section, which worked last time. Yeah. Just something a bit more solid, longer, so we can cement it into the ground. We'll just use postcrete. But approaching the end of this job, thank God. I need to get myself a bit more organised with jobs like these, having all the tools that you need, having everything you need beforehand, rather than doing this sort of trip back into town. And luckily enough, we are close enough. But if we were like doing a job far away, you would need to be on the ball. You would need to be organised, and I'd like to think you would be a bit more vigilant. Probably a bit more relaxed here because we know we're not far away, but it's not always ideal having to do a run back to town to grab what you need. But anyway, we're getting there. It's certainly been a bit of a wake-up call recently with the dark mornings, dark evenings. It sort of just comes out of nowhere. I can't believe we're saying it, but it's, you know, the 1st of November. 1st of November, sorry. It's the start of November. It's currently the 5th of November, but yeah, just crazy to be honest. The pressure is piling on a little bit. We've got a lot to do. I've got some big commitments coming up that, you know, I'll maybe speak about in a later video, but yeah, right now I've kind of got to get my head down and knuckle down, get through as much work as possible, get the invoices out, going to sell off some assets that we don't really use. The tilt bed trailer that we used to use all the time for the grass cutting, but since getting the beaver tails, we don't use anymore. So it's been sat in my driveway, and it's one of those ones, it's like, it's really handy to have, but if it's not getting used all the time, does it really make sense having it? Especially if you need the cash to free up, you know, elsewhere. I can always buy another trailer, so I've, you know, came to the decision to advertise it. So it's up for sale. Whether it goes or not, we'll see. The MG, my little sports car, I'm trying to shift. Obviously, since getting the Volvo, it's another car. It's sitting under the lean-to there and collecting dust, really. I'm supposed to have someone come and see it today or tomorrow, but I haven't heard back yet, so. This is the stage we're at. So I left Kyle and Ed to it. They're just finishing off at that fence. The gate is on. They're just getting tidied up, finishing things off. Went and emptied the load that was in the trailer and just came back to see how Mike and Tommy were progressing. And yeah, it's looking good. The turf for this is arriving on Thursday, so we could do with maybe a little bit more soil, but it's pretty much ready for gravel and turf. Does it feel any better, the digger?
Smoother.
It's been serviced. And the belt's been tightened as well. There you go, Jim. I know you'll be watching this. Thanks for doing such a good job servicing the digger. Top class. Supposed to get it in the trailer. So we are just in at the quarry. I'm getting a load of type 1. Took that load from Mike, dumped that, came out here to get the type 1. Kyle and Ed were just loading up with a load of firewood, and they're going to go and deliver that, then go up and help Mike and Tommy. So when I come back, I'm probably just going to dump the load of type 1, and then yeah, we can load it with the barrows, load it with the digger into the barrows, and then the path in front of the house needs to come up a little bit. We are going to be gravelling it, but before we do that, I thought we'd get a load of type 1 in. That is the plan of action. And my new pickup, I wish, my clean pickup will no longer be clean because this is very messy, guttery stuff. So, and here comes Jim to load me up. So that is the guys headed home for the day. Starting to fight with darkness now. That sounds a bit deep. It's getting dark. Yeah, it adds another struggle for working. Soon it'll probably be dark at 8 AM or till 8 AM, half 8. And then come 4 o'clock it gets dark again. So we have invested in previous years in Makita tower lights, and they've made a big difference for us working in the dark. I might get another one, I don't know. We've got 2, but if you're on the job and you need more daylight. If you need more light, it's definitely a game changer. So yeah, the V5 through for the Volvo, which will go into the folder. And as much as it's a pain working in the dark, there's something about having the lights out and still being able to crack on when it's dark. It just adds quite a cool element to it. I don't know, maybe I'm just being weird, but anyway, I've got some paperwork to do. I've actually got to go and meet Enriko, the videographer, tonight to give him some more footage. That is pretty much it for another day. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, the 6th of November. Just on my way back from the quarry, got a load of gravel, and the guys have been getting the job ready. Had a bit of stuff to work out this morning and sort out paperwork-wise. I've got an accountant meeting, or a meeting with my accountant at 10 o'clock. It's currently 9:25, so I'm just getting a load of chips in for the guys so they can crack on getting that spread. Had a bit of a sad phone call this morning from one of our regular customers who's been with us for a few years now. Her young dog, I say young dog, sorry, he's 14. Her small dog has some sort of cancer, they reckon, and there's nothing they can do for him now, so she's asked if we can go and help dig a grave for the dog in the garden somewhere. So obviously never a phone call you want to get. I'm sure a lot of you have probably done that before for customers, but it's a first for us, so I said yes, that's no problem at all, and we can do that for you, and there will be no charge. It's only a small dog anyway, so it's not going to take too long, and I think it's just courtesy that, you know, it's done free of charge. She's given us a lot of business in the past, and she's going to be continuing business with us. So yeah, if I could just make her day/week any better, I suppose it couldn't really get any worse. But yeah, kindness goes a long way, and sometimes it's not about the money. So when the time comes today for the wee dog to cross the rainbow bridge, we will then go out and do what's necessary. The dog's had a good life. It's been absolutely spoilt rotten, and I did say that to the client. She was trying not to well up on the phone. I just tried to, you know, reassure her and, you know, just offer that support, because there's nothing really you can say, is there, but to acknowledge that the dog has had a great life, and it's only fair for the animal that it gets put down. So yeah, not the most cheery of starts to Wednesday, but it is what it is. That's just life, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to go dump this load of chips. I might be able to get another one in as well. We'll see if I'm quick. So that's the guys with a load of gravel. Got my accountant meeting in 15 minutes. So I'm going to go change the battery on the trailer because it's pretty tired. Once it runs out, it struggles to tip. We don't have the trickle charge on this trailer, so we've got to swap them over, which is a bit of a pain, but no big deal. Jeez, that's heavy. Sounds a lot better to me. Formula 1 changeover. So I've just had my meeting with the accountant and my bookkeeper, which was pretty good. Give us a bit more insight of things. So next year I'm planning going for a mortgage for a house. As many of you will probably know, I'm still at home with my parents. Over the years I've just invested everything back into the business, but I'm coming to the point now where I want to maybe try and get onto the property ladder, move out, a bit more independence, blah blah blah. Obviously getting a mortgage when you're self-employed can sometimes be difficult, and we need to work out how much sort of tax I'm going to need to pay to make my books look good so that I can get a mortgage, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have to take the hit on the tax. Obviously we've been investing a lot, so you can apply your capital allowance to offset your tax. So usually, like, I've never really paid any tax because I've always spent so much money, but that's no use for a mortgage because they look at that bottom line and they look at your profits. So you basically have to take the hit, make your books look good, and then you can get a mortgage. I don't even know if I should be speaking about this, but like, it's pretty standard, I'd imagine, you know. So we're just getting a bit of a clearer insight with them. It's good to have my bookkeeper there who, you know, does the majority of stuff. I'm just going to go make sure he tips this in the middle. The last load was a little bit lopsided because he couldn't really see with the high sides, so I was just guiding him with the bucket that time. So yeah, that's the crack. A lot to think about, a lot to, you know, do. the tax. She ran some figures. If you were to like pay the tax on without applying any capital allowance, it's like scary amount of money. Yeah. So now we've got a bit of clarity. Just going to send some of that stuff over. I'll need to speak to a mortgage advisor to see what, with the calculations that we were given, what can be done with that, etc, etc. So it's probably boring stuff, but I'm trying to get the ball rolling now and plan ahead rather than, oh, there's a house I want to buy, oh, I can get a deposit, oh, I can't get a mortgage because my books look horrendous. So trying to be a bit proactive about it all, and yeah, hopefully next year, good bit into next year, you know, hopefully try and look at getting on the property ladder.
Good. Whacking makes a difference, eh?
You got to pull that forward, mate. Yep.
Is that empty? Cool.
It's getting there. Slabs are in, just 2 slabs at the front there, and the gravel's going in too. Looking good in the new uniform.
Oh yeah. At least we don't have to remember the high-vis vests at Tomor anymore.
Yes, exactly. I'm prepared. Getting there though. Eh?
Yeah.
And just like that, we are back at the quarry. Here comes Jim in the loader. One thing that makes me appreciate where we live is how handy and convenient this quarry is. It's literally 5 minutes down the road from, you know, where I live. Yeah, it's got all the material you need. You go another 15 minutes that way, you've got another quarry, sand and gravel quarry, and you go another 10 minutes in that other direction, you've got another quarry. So I do feel for the people that live in the sort of like cities and that who don't have that to hand and they have to get everything delivered by lorry from afar. We're definitely blessed in a certain way. And what a view that we are blessed with too. Hi Jim.
Hi Ben.
This is the man who serviced the digger so well.
Thanks Ben.
You can't be shy, Jim. Cup of tea.
Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee. Get in there.
Aye.
Knackered, isn't it?
Aye, that's the technical term, yeah.
So it's actually going to place down the side as well, up to the back of the deck. Have you seen anyone?
Aye,
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I thought the neighbour came and gave you the coffee. So some of you might have remembered me in the last video coming to look at this job, and anyway, we got it, and we're going to be replacing the fence. That tree stump down in the corner, it's coming out somehow, and this is all getting replaced. Apart from this bit, which is also pretty tired, but the driveway is giving way. So. This is why we use the post leaves, because this rots. Pretty wild, isn't it? Anyway, that is it pretty much for the day. It's 25 to 5, just in the office. I've got some invoices to send out, get that money in. Mike and Ed are coming back from that hedge that they went to go and trim. Don't know if I told you that. They went off in the afternoon to go and trim a hedge that we did last year that they wanted done again. Mike and Tommy are cracking on with that fence, just getting that down. Another job started. We are waiting for the turf for that job to arrive before we can go back to that. However, I've just had a meeting with the client this afternoon. They want to do the back as well. So we're going to go in and strip the back out to a blank canvas and go from there. So just kind of escalated that job, which is good. Really good. That's pretty much it from me today. I will see you tomorrow. Touch wood, things are all going okay at the moment. As I mentioned before, with our grass cutting on the direct debit, we're getting backdated pays from the grass cutting through the season. But that means we're making essentially more money because each week we're doing one-off jobs, projects, hedges, fences, what have you, and then we're also getting the money from the grass coming in. So yeah, really needing to knuckle down right now and try and get as much money in as possible, try and make things as efficient as possible, transitioning from one job to the next. Thankfully the weather has been very, very good to us lately, so long may that continue, long may we continue pushing forward, and on that note, I will see you tomorrow. Morning guys, it is Thursday the 7th of November and we've got a bit of a different kind of concept here today. We've actually got Enriko behind the camera. Very weird for me because obviously I'm the one who's obviously, always holding the camera, so it's going to be, it's going to be good, different. I don't have to worry about it. It's something less to worry about. So we're on a job here in Aviemore today, basically like a tidy up job for a rental. There's going to be new tenants moving in, so they basically just want it cleared back, trees removed, low maintenance, and just a general sort of tidy up for them coming in. So we've got 6 of us here today. I normally wouldn't do that, but it's just the logistics of it, who can go to what job and that. So we're going to come here, get the worst of it done, blitz it, and then there's some pressure washing to do, so probably leave Kyle to do that, and then we'll be back to town to carry on with some other work. So we'll go and see the guys and just get started. That was it. It was pretty anticlimactic. So today we're going to be using the Kress Chainsaw. I've never really used any other battery chainsaws, but if you're running a 2-stroke one, as soon as you take your finger off the trigger, it's running on idle. Noisy, but yeah, there's definitely a benefit to it. Got plenty of power about it. Nice balance to it. So
Quiet. And
quiet, yes. The neighbours will love it. Bye, Kress. So, big difference in the job already. This conifer tree's been taken down. Just tidied up the edges of the path. You can kind of see where they were out to before. Ed's just sort of tidying up. Finishing touches. Just having a sort of general tidy up, but you can see the difference from the morning. Trees were here, trees were all around the back. Very overgrown, very messy. We've taken all the weeds out from the joints of the path, and Kyle is going to pressure wash them. So this is what it's going to look like by the end of it. So yeah, that'll clean it up and just brighten it up a little bit. But as you can see, I just wanted a sort of low maintenance approach. Some might say it's a shame to take the trees down, the apple tree and what have you, but here's what it is. We've just got to do what the clients ask, and I get it. If you've got a tenant coming in and they're not like keen gardeners, they're just going to let it grow. So yeah, pretty straightforward, low maintenance, and yeah, it's looking good. Do you approve? So we're nearly there with this job, just getting the sort of final finishing touches. Kyle's going to stay and pressure wash the back patio, and then he'll come and join us, but we're going to go back through to another job in Grantown and get going with that. So we cannot seem to get that van into the job. So going to go and get the tipping trailer and see if we can try and get that in to try and get the wood chip away. Not ideal, but is what it is. Can't always have a smooth day. So hopefully we can try and get that in. The van's just too long to get around the pillar and the wall pillar. So yeah, it's going to make it interesting because that whole area, turn this up, that whole area is going to be getting stripped back and back to a sort of blank canvas and eventually grass seeded. So the logistics of getting in there and getting material out is yeah, the tricky part, and that's obviously reflective on the price. So is what it is. We'll make it work, but it's never easy. We talked about just chipping onto the floor of the back garden, but you know, because it's going to be getting taken away anyway and dug out, but it's just going to make more mess. And we're trying to get it back to a blank canvas with just sort of bare soil. You don't really want a lot of wood chip in it, so that was the idea. This is going to be an issue. Oh man! I'm just worried about getting out.
Yeah.
Will you let me know I'm near touching the fence, Enriko?
Yeah. Keep going a little bit more. Oh, that's you.
Man, oh man. That was not fun. So we are making progress now that we've got the trailer in. The guys are getting through that branches, getting it all chipped up. Just got Mike to change the bucket over, digging out some of the tree roots here. Basically this whole area is getting stripped back to like a blank canvas. The only thing that's really staying is that plum tree. So everything else is coming out, getting stripped back to bare soil. This will be like a hard stand area, so we're going to dig this out. Initially just getting all the sort of the foliage and that away and getting that cleared. So yeah, making good progress anyway. Good morning folks, I'm afraid we are back to normal. Enriko came out yesterday and basically blew my filming out of the water because he's a videographer. So it's quite good to get him out. Jeez, this is heavy. I've got a replacement jockey wheel to go on. Doesn't help that there's a load of turf on it. But yeah, it was good to get Enriko out for the first time, do some filming. Hopefully going to be doing more of that in the future, but for now, just me and my wee DJI. So we loaded the turf on last night and I'm going to take it up to the job. The guys are up there just now getting ready. And yeah, we are good to go. So, time to get the turf down in November. Unheard of. But still warm, still mild. Kyle's just teaching the young ones how we go about doing it. So back in this garden now, I'm going to get the rake onto the digger. So like I said yesterday, we're wanting to strip all this back to just a blank canvas, bare soil, and then I think next year they're going to seed it, but just to get it all sort of tidied out while we have the fence down. The neighbour is going to be gravelling the driveway and he's more than happy for us to take the fence down and use it, but he would rather it was done sooner rather than later so he can get gravel in his driveway, hence why we're preparing it now and then maybe come back and seed it in the spring. But there is other work to be done, potentially talking about a path and a patio and then maybe just an all-round hard stand towards the house, potentially a sleeper along there to separate the lawn, and then yeah, this will all be turf or grass. So that is the plan of action. So I'm just going to get the rake on and start having a little bit of a tidy up. So So that is the turf all in. That's the kind of stage I'm at just now. I'm just trying to clear the top layer of like grass and what have you. Just get it back to bare soil, back to a blank canvas. And now that the guys are finished, we're going to go up and see Kyle and Alex up at that fence and get everyone on that to try and push that on. So that's where we'll go now. Were you just about to phone me?
Just about to give you a ring, yeah.
How'd you get on? Was that concrete in? Or?
Nope.
Definitely not. Just chopped in.
Yes, this is the one.
I see. Oh, he's feeling strong. It is Friday evening, 5:36 p.m. and I'm in the office. Really busy week. The guys today didn't make as much progress as I'd hoped at the fence job. They did face some pretty hard holes to dig with a lot of concrete and stuff, and yeah, they did look like a right nightmare. But also at the start, I had an appointment up in Inverness and I had to go deposit a cheque because I need to get the money in the bank. I kind of left it to them to work out and navigate, so obviously take a wee bit of setting up to do there, but the guys are going to come out tomorrow. Mike and Kyle are going to come out tomorrow and we'll crack on a little bit with those posts. Hopefully get the posts in so they're setting over the weekend and then can have a go at the fence next week. That's the plan of action anyway. But yeah, pretty productive week. Now that the grass cutting is out the way, it sounds like a bit of a broken record, but we can kind of crack on with the stuff we've got and go project to project rather than stopping and having to cut grass, or sending a couple people to go and cut grass and then you're limited numbers. So also taking on board a few extra bodies as well, which is not something I normally do at this time of year, but they're sort of like on a part-time basis. I've not got obligations to keep them on, as harsh as that sounds, and they know that. I've made that clear. Obviously with the winters being tough, it's not that we don't have the work, it's if we can't get to the work. So but they're more than welcome, and there's work there for them as long as it keeps coming in. So yeah, having that ability to send multiple crews out to different jobs to keep things going, definitely noticing a big difference getting through the sort of workload that we've got. So yeah, it's been good. It's just trying to make it as efficient as possible with multiple bodies. I wouldn't normally have multiple bodies on the same job, as in like as many as there has been, but it's quite difficult when you've got essentially only Mike and Kyle out this week who have been here enough to know things, the crack, etc. The other guys haven't been here enough to lead the team, for example. So Mike had Ed and Tommy laying the turf with him while Kyle went up to the fence job with Alex until the turf was done, and then they all joined at the end to try and push it on. So yeah, it's just trying to navigate that, and if you have too many bodies on one job, it almost becomes counterproductive. There's just someone gets in the way and there's not enough. So it's a balancing act, and it's finding that, and it's that's why it's important to have that key people in place. Like, of course, even if Damien was here, could send Damien away with someone to crack on, because they're the sort of three fundamental people that have been here long enough to know the crack and know how things are done. But still, everyone's learning, everyone's improving. So that's the main thing, and it will come with time, but just another thing to juggle. Anyway, I've got some quotes I really need to send out, which I'm going to do now. But I hope you've enjoyed this week. It's been pretty action-packed. Getting Enriko out with the camera as well was really good. So yeah, hopefully we get more of him on the go. Although it's kind of set the standard up here, and then when I come back on the camera, it comes back down. So maybe we'll need to talk about a full-time job. But yeah, good to see, and it was good to have some professional photography and videography out yesterday. I've got some cool photos to put up on the Facebook pages, etc. And yeah, so if we just try and keep this momentum up while the weather is good. I can't believe how bloody warm it is. Yeah, long may it continue. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and leave some feedback down in the comment box below. Your comments are very important to me, guys. Seeing the comments of encouragement about how you find the videos and if it relates to you, and stuff like that, it eggs me on to do more. So I need to know that the content that I'm putting out there is the sort of stuff you want to see and you're enjoying it. And obviously, whatever you're not enjoying, I'm open to constructive criticism. So Apart from the no music one, someone said something about no music, and I just thought, what a boring video it would be without any music. But so maybe that's non-negotiable. Anyway, that's me. Enough ranting. I will see you next week.